Hi, happy Friday. Today's Ask Rachel Anything question is a super valid one that came in through the community. As we've been talking a lot about our fit protocols and checklists today, why would I need to set such strict standards for a fitting? Which is something that I've come across quite a few times while explaining this tool to people. Essentially, how this protocol and checklist came to be is that we were running into issues getting through all of our fittings every single week. So working at really big brands where you maybe have 10, 20, maybe even 30 different garments to fit in a single fit session, we were running into issues where people were having all of these side conversations, people weren't paying attention to the fitting without starting the fitting with a certain set ground rules into, we're going to go through the measurements, we're going to go through last time's comments, we're going to really help each other understand what this garment came in and what do we need to do today, and have kind of a standard of how we went through that fitting, including a really good recap at the end so that everyone had one final chance to kind of approve the notes and make sure we were ready to move on to the next style. Without doing that, we were getting off track really fast. And so when we would bring in, let's say 8 different garments into a single fitting, we'd only be able to get through maybe 4 or 5 of them before the time was up. People needed to go to other meetings. People didn't have time to really sit in the room any longer. And so we were falling behind on getting all of our work done. I think for a lot of small companies, setting standards up front is something that's just good practice, and it's really hard to do, right? Even as a small business owner myself, I'm starting into year 3 of Unmarked Street, and we're just now starting to really dial in, what are our standard operating procedures? How are we going to write down all of those SOPs? Where are we tracking them? Who's in charge of that? How does all of it happen? And I think if we had really started doing some of that work earlier, it would be a lot easier. We'd probably be in a bit of a smoother place right now. So I do recommend checking out the protocols and the checklists that are in the free tool that we offer, so that if there's any part of it that could be helpful to you while you're starting to run fittings as a smaller business, maybe you don't have 8, 10, 20 styles to fit in every single fit session, but even just bringing 1 or 2 and making sure that everything goes really smoothly, you're bringing in your checklist so you're not missing any of the elements, and you've made sure to check everything that you need to check, and you don't walk out of the fitting going, oh no, we forgot to talk about body lengths, or I remember that this bicep measured really small and we didn't talk about it. If you have your checklist there with you, it's really helpful to just make sure that you don't forget any of those elements. So I know the protocols portion may seem a little bit harsh, but it was just really a time saver for us. And that's why they're there. They're not meant to chain anybody to a desk while you're in a fitting and not allow people to do what they need to do. But it is meant to kind of portray how important each fitting is, and how as a team, if you can come together and really focus for the time that you're there and kind of flow through a process that makes sense to everybody, that can definitely be a really, really good way to start your fittings and to move forward. So this is a tool that's customizable, right? You can download it and you can remove things that don't make sense for you. There are a lot of different roles in the protocols and checklists that I've put in there. But if you're especially a solo entrepreneur and you're doing a lot of this on your own, you might find that you are the pattern engineer and you are the developer and you are the technical designer already. And so kind of considering how to wear those different hats throughout the fitting and think in all of those different ways is maybe a cool way to use the protocols. Again, it's not meant to be anything harsh for anybody. And I understand the mentality of why would I need to push this onto my team? But it really just is a time saver, and it's meant to help everybody get into the flow. So that's why we have it. If you're interested in downloading it, you can go to my link in bio. It is right there. We have several free tools up there, really easy for you to access. $0. You can get it right now. So let me know any other questions that are coming in on the fit protocols and checklist. We're going to continue doing some information on it as we move forward. And then as we start getting out our brand new YouTube channel, The Cutting Edge, we'll be talking a lot more about development, all of my tips and tricks on developing and technical design. I'm going to be giving all of that away for free. We talked for a really long time about, is this a new course that we should put out, or should we somehow make it a subscription or a membership? And at the end of the day, I just really want you guys to have this information at your fingertips. So we are getting started on that. It will likely launch at the beginning of March. We're doing some testing right now. And so if you have any questions on that, let me know too. We're really excited to start getting some of that information out, and running fittings and knowing how to do that and having this protocol and checklist is kind of one of the first stages. So thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you're having an amazing Friday and have a wonderful weekend ahead. Talk to you next week.